My name is Jason Herrick, and I work for the Utility Department at Orange County. I was here December 1st with the mayor at the community meeting with the commissioner. And at that meeting, the mayor brought up the concept of potentially bringing potable drinking water to the Bithlo area. In fact, she asked for a straw poll at that meeting to see what interest there might be. And there was some interest shown, so she's asked us to come back and take a look at what a project might look like to bring potable drinking water service to Bithlo. And that's why I'm here tonight. I'm here to report back to you with some of the potential project details, what the cost would be, and really at the end of my presentation to determine if there's enough interest here to move forward into the next phase. The mayor stated on December 1st that she had some significant concerns with the cost of such a project, the cost to the county, and more importantly, the cost to the individual citizens in Bithlo. And I can tell you that after doing the evaluation, staff shares her concerns. It's a very expensive project. And I want to be perfectly clear at the front of this presentation that I'm not here advocating for this project. The county's not advocating for it. We're not pushing it. And in fact, if there's not significant interest shown tonight, we're not going to move forward with the project. This will be the end of the discussion. Following the December 1st community meeting, we evaluated what it would take to bring potable drinking water service to Bithlo. And this slide describes the project in terms of the required infrastructure. But the important takeaway from this slide is that the project would require 38 miles of new pipeline, along with the paving that's associated with that and easement acquisition. It is a significant, if not a huge project. Based on our evaluation, the total cost to construct all of those pipelines and connect all of the residential properties to the potable drinking water system is $20.5 million. That includes the cost of design and construction, capital charges and connection fees. That's the total cost, and that's a huge number. It's a huge project. Now, we think there may be a couple of ways to reduce that $20.5 million number. First, we could approach the Board of County Commission with a proposal to see if they would vote for a capital contribution to pay for the large diameter pipelines. Any pipeline that's 12 inches or larger, what we consider the backbone of the system, what's shown on this map in blue. If the Board of County Commission approved that capital contribution, it would lock $4.5 million off that price tag. Second, there may be some grant funding available for this project. Unknown at this point how much. Our best guess is somewhere between $1 and $5 million, and it's difficult to say this far away from a project. We could approach the Board of County Commission and ask them to allocate some grant funding in somewhere between $1 and $5 million. If the Board of County Commission approved both the capital contribution and the grant funding, the project cost to the property owners could be reduced to somewhere between $11 and $15 million. So let me explain what that means to you. That's a huge number. What it means to you is that if a project were to move forward, the cost to each property owner would be between $3,000 and $12,000 initially. And that's a big range, and let me explain to you how you get to those numbers. On the low end, to get to the $3,000 number, the Board of County Commission would have to approve the capital contribution. They'd have to approve the grant funding up to $5 million. The property would have to be residential, owner-occupied, and qualify for additional low-income assistance. If all of that occurred, the initial cost to you would be $3,000. On the other end of that range, if none of that occurred, if the board did not approve the grant funding or the capital contribution, if you were not in a residential property that's owner-occupied and qualified for additional low-income assistance, your initial cost would be $12,000. In either case, whether it's 3 or 12 or somewhere in between, residents would also be responsible for a monthly water bill after that. And that monthly water bill can range anywhere from $15 to $20 on the low end to as high as over $50 a month on the high end, depending on whether or not you have an irrigation system connected, how many people live in your home, that type of thing. Regardless of the final cost to the individual property owner, the initial cost, whether it's $3,000 or $12,000 or somewhere in between, the county does offer a program where payments can be made over a 10-year period. Under this program, annual payments are made as part of your property tax bill. For example, if your costs were going to be $3,000, we would divide that by 10, that's $300, and add a small interest component. Interest right now is really low in the program, it's about 3%, but we wouldn't be able to lock it in until we got closer to a project, so it's subject to change. And then that number is added to your property tax bill each of the next 10 years to help pay for it over a period of time. The use of that program would require board approval, and it's called a municipal service benefit unit. And that really completes my short presentation to you tonight, and I want to take maybe 10 minutes to answer any questions that you have. If there's anything I said in the presentation that I can clarify, I'd like to do that now. And then after I'm done answering any questions you have, I'd like to take a straw poll. And we'll do it by a show of hands to see how much interest there is in a project like this. As I said early on, if there's little or no interest, we're not going to pursue the project. We're going to end the discussion here tonight. If there's significant interest, we'll move into the next steps, and I'll explain what that is at that point.